Magic Ballerina, Rosa and the Magic Moonstone by Darcey Bussell, read by Helen Lacey. Chapter 1. Exam Time. The group of girls crowded into the changing rooms, chattering loudly. "I can't believe we're going to be doing the exam tomorrow," Olivia said. "I know," replied Rebecca. "I'm really nervous." "I'm scared stiff," agreed Asher. Rosa Maitland looked at her friends in surprise. "But why?" She twirled round before sitting down and starting to untie the ribbons of her red ballet shoes. "I'm really looking forward to it." Rosa loved dancing in front of people. She didn't care whether it was for her teacher, Madame Za-Zas, an audience at the theatre, or an examiner in the ballet studio. She just loved to dance. "But what if we go wrong?" said Olivia. "What if we forget everything?" "Why would we?" Rosa said. "We're just doing the same exercises we do every lesson for Madame Za-Zas. Stop worrying about it." She got changed out of her leotard and after saying goodbye to Olivia and the others, she headed home. Rosa only lived around the corner. As she let herself into the house, her mum came into the hall in her wheelchair. Mrs. Maitland had once been a ballerina, but then a car accident had ended her career. She still loved ballet, though, and often helped Rosa. "How did the exam practice go?" she asked. "Great!" Rosa smiled as she remembered. "It was cool dancing with a proper pianist playing, and Madame Za-Zas said I did my dances really well." Mrs. Maitland nodded. "How about your bar work?" "Easy peasy," grinned Rosa. She took hold of the kitchen door handle with her left hand and raised her leg to the retire position, bringing her right arm above her head, just like she would have to do in the exam. "Everyone else is really nervous, but I don't know why. I'm sure we're all going to pass." Her mum looked anxious. "Rosa, it's really great you're not worried about the exam, but remember things can go wrong. If they do, you must just keep on going and not give up. Don't expect to get everything right." Rosa smiled confidently. "I'll be fine." She danced into the kitchen. "What's for tea, Mum?" "Pasta," said Mrs. Maitland, following her. "Will you set the table, please, while I heat the sauce?" Rosa nodded and started to get the cutlery out. "What mark do you think I'll get for the exam?" she wondered. Her mum smiled. "I don't know, sweetheart, but as long as you try your hardest, I'll be proud of you." In bed that night, Rosa ran through the exercises she was going to have to do in her exam. Madame Za-Zas had explained that the girls would go into groups of 4. First they would do bar work, like they did every week in class. Then they would go into the centre of the studio and do some more exercises there. After that, they would take it in turns to do a set dance, and then they had character work to do. Rosa had practised over and over again. What mark would she get? The highest grade you could get was an A, which was also called distinction, and then it went B for merit, C for pass, and if you didn't get any of those, you failed. She really hoped she would do well. She reached out to turn her bedside light off. As she did so, her eyes fell on the red ballet shoes hanging on the end of her bed. She smiled. They were her most precious things in the whole world. They were made of soft red leather and fitted her feet perfectly. But that wasn't why they were so special. They were special because they were magic. Sometimes they would start to sparkle and glow, and then they would whisker off to Enchantia, a magic land where all the characters from the different ballets lived. Rosa had been on some brilliant adventures there already. She had met the king and queen, made friends with a fairy called Nutmeg, and her older sister Sugar, the sugar-plum fairy. She had come up against some pretty horrible characters too, like King Rat and the wicked fairy. But most of the people who lived in Enchantia were really nice. Rosa snuggled down under her duvet. She bet no one in Enchantia had to do exams. When would she go there again? She hugged her arms around herself. She hoped it would be soon. In the morning, Rosa arrived at the ballet school early. She got changed into her leotard and smoothed her wavy blonde hair.